Hi, Julie Jones from SSB Performance, Smarter, Stronger, Better Mindset Training, here with this week's Mindset Made Simple Tip of the Week, brought to you by Game Day Sportswear. This week we're talking about what does it take to be a national champion? One thing might help. Matthew, one of my college wrestlers that I work with, asked his roommate, who had just been crowned national champion in the 174-pound Division III National Championship, he said, what do I need to do? You know, my guy's got big aspirations. His dad was an All-American. He's a great wrestler, a great guy, wants to be a national champion. What do I need to do to be a national champion? And his roommate told him, he said, do one thing every single day to make yourself a better wrestler. One thing. Commit to doing one thing every day that you know is contributing to you being better, mentally, physically, whatever it is. One thing. Seems so simple. But we know simple isn't easy. Committing to doing one thing every day is harder than it seems. But it reminds me of the Seinfeld strategy that James Clear talks about in his book, Atomic Habits. And what this story is about, it's Seinfeld was in the back, in a green room or something, talking with a younger comedian, and the comedian asked me, said, what do you do? How do you sustain? How do you keep writing such good jokes? How do you keep doing what you're doing and just, killing it in the comedy world? And Seinfeld said that his strategy was this. He wrote one joke every day. One joke every day. And every day he had a calendar, like one of those old calendars that you hang up on the wall that's got, a box for every day. And he checked off every single day, put an X in every single day that he wrote a joke. He didn't tell the guy, every day I wrote a great joke, or every day I made people laugh, or every day this. No, he wrote one joke every day. He didn't say it was good. He didn't say anything about the outcome of the joke. He just wrote one joke every day because he knew that writing was the key to better content. And content is imperative to keep growing as a comedian. So he knew that writing was what he needed to do. And he measured his success on whether he wrote one joke every single day or not. He liked to see the X, 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 a train of X's across his calendar, that he wanted to keep that run going. X, 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 every single day. Wrote one joke. Didn't talk anything about results. It was all about his process. And it's the same thing whether we want to be a great wrestler or a great public speaker or a great coach or a great salesperson, a great softball player. If we can do one thing every day to get better at that, we'll be better. Do we decide whether we're going to be a national champion or the best comedian in the country? No, we don't get to decide that. We don't control outcomes. But we can influence it and move closer to our goal if we're willing to commit to being consistent. I used to tell my team all the time that the team that makes the most routine plays normally wins. It's about winning a softball game, is about doing routine things over and over and over. Whether that means picking up the ball and throwing it, it's a game of catch. Or getting in there and being focused, consistently focused on the pitch, picking good pitches, routinely choosing the pitch that's going to help you the most. Those are the teams that win. Champions in all walks of life, the best performers, are looking for consistency. They're not waiting for the big play to save them. They are seeking consistent action, consistent choices, making consistent decisions, consistent preparation. That is what makes people great. Think Cal Ripken, consistent. Serena Williams, consistent. Roger Federer, consistent. And look at the consistent success that follows. I made a commitment to myself this year to do one thing every day to grow my business. Well, it's really not a commitment because I very poorly stuck to that. But I know if I want to be better, I've got to do something to grow every day. So this is my call out to myself. This tip is for you and for me to get on track. Deciding to be a national champion, deciding to be at the top of the country, when we decide, we have made a commitment to doing something simple every single day. Those simple things add up. And this is what deciding means. According to the online etymology dictionary, the word decide comes from the Latin word de. I don't speak Latin, so it could be D, I don't know. But that means off. And then terminare, again, not a Latin speaker, should have taken it after all those tests that we took to get into grad school and those things. It probably would have helped. That means to mark the end or boundary, end limit. So in other words, this means that all of our other options are gone. Everything else is off the table. We have decided that this is what we're going to do. Of course, deciding is easier said than done. But how do we do it? First, we need to ask ourselves a series of questions. What really is going to move the needle? Because here's the truth of it. We are going to, every day, go to our calendar and say, yeah, I did that. That made me better, didn't it? We can't trust ourselves. We're going to take the easy way out. So we need to make a list of things that we know really makes us better. What are those things? It's different for every single one of us. Do we need to be more fit? Do we need to be more skilled? Do we need to be more mentally tough? Do we need to be more connected? Do we need to learn how to communicate better? Do we need more information? Do we need to study more video? What are the things that we know if we do them, we're going to get better? And then once we have that list, those are the things that are deserving of an X. Of course, they can change. But if we just say, oh, I did something to get better. Oh, you know, I talked about softball today. No X for that. A joke gets the X. A good or bad joke, it doesn't matter. It's not about having the one great workout and then giving ourselves an X for that. It's about having consistent workouts and deciding what helps move the needle. They say that our choices are like train tracks. They lead us to where we're going to go. In fact, James Clear says that every action that we take is a vote for the type of person we wish to become. No single instance transforms our beliefs, he said. No single instance transforms us. It's all the little things that stick up to that, or stack up to that. He says, but as the votes build up, so does the evidence of our new identity. As the votes build up, as the strategy builds up, as the evidence builds up, as the skills, the focus, as these things build up, we then are that. That is who we are. We are the culmination of the things that we do the most. We are what we repeatedly do. And if we consistently can do one thing, we're going to get better. So we've already asked our questions. What do we need to, what are the things that are X worthy? And then we need to ask the questions of what gets in the way, or does this fit our routine? Do we have the energy to do it? Do we need to do it early in the day because it takes a lot of mental energy? Do we have to rearrange our schedules? Do we have to rearrange our environment? What are the things that keep us from, or could keep us from doing these things? Because we've got to figure out a way to make them frictionless. Less friction. Easier, the better. Sleep in your workout shirt. That's what I do. Right? When we used to practice at 6 o'clock in the morning, I knew I wanted to sleep as long as possible. I put my toothpaste on my toothbrush the night before. It got a little hard. It softens up as soon as you put it in the water. No big deal. But I knew that that was going to help me get out the door faster so that I could get to work on time to be prepared for practice. And that was the ultimate goal, to be better when the time came. Not wasting around putting the toothpaste on my toothbrush. That can be done another time. What are the little things that we need to change in our environment? Then the next questions are we willing to make those changes? Are we willing to make the changes that we need to do these things? Right? And then finally, will we commit, 100% commit, that the only things that get the X are the things on our list? Because a 100% commitment is what it takes. A 98% commitment gives you an out. 100%, yes, this is my list. If I don't do it, I don't get an X. And then the goal is to not have 2 empty days in a row. Make the train long. You're not going to be perfect. 80% is better than nothing. Just like a consistent short workout is better than one big workout a week. But if you miss a day, Commit to getting back. That's your rule. You're committed 100%. You will not have 2 days in a row where you didn't do something. Well, that's not 100% commitment. No, but it's real because we're humans. So, what is on your one thing list? What are you stacking up? What are the votes that you are collecting to show who you are? A national champion, the best comedian, the best coach, the best teammate, the best whatever it is. What's your one thing? Get yourself a calendar, start to check it off, and you can't wait to put that X on the calendar every day, because you know if you stack all those X's together, you are going to be way better than you are now. Whenever that you have to cash in those chips, you are going to be a totally different performer because you have committed to doing one thing. You can do more if you want to, but one thing, laying the groundwork to build the better you. So, I know what I need to do, and I've got to commit to it now because I'm having accountability partners all over the country. What's your one thing? I'd love to hear about it if you have a chance. Shoot me an email, juliej@sspperformance.com. In the meantime, we'll see you next week. Manage the moments, manage your one thing, and go get better.